Okay, somebody in my community asked me recently whether they should do a voiceover for in perpetuity. And actually, you guys have been asking that in comments for a while. People in my community, especially newer people, ask all the time. So today, in this video, we are gonna tackle the age-old question. Should you do in perpetuity or not? And the answer might surprise you.
Watch Shark Tank right now if you haven't already.
I knew this is gonna be awesome. So for those of you who don't know, this is my fiance, Heather. She does not do voiceover. So Heather.
Well, I do voiceovers for all of my reels, which the master himself has complimented me on, which is...
I take it back, she does do voiceover.
Yes, thank you very much, babe.
Okay, so for voiceover, specifically, would you license your voice out for in perpetuity? Do you know what they mean by in perpetuity in business?
Yes, because I am a Shark Tank gal.
Okay, so what is in perpetuity?
Forever.
Forever, exactly. Here's what may surprise you. There are different levels to forever, meaning that they could license your voice forever for organic usage, meaning that there's no ad spend behind it. They can use it forever in perpetuity for online ads if that's what you agree to. Then it could be broadcast TV, radio, there's different levels. Then it's also in perpetuity in certain mediums, like we just discussed. So there's a lot of different levels to it, and that's where the misconception is. And I'll tell you right now, I do in perpetuity a lot for non-broadcast. Yeah, you'd be surprised to know, like for instance, when you do something that's, social media related.
They usually say 6 months in the contract. That's typical. I mean, it could always be different, but yes, they do clarify that.
Great, but do you see sometimes where it says something like organic usage in perpetuity?
I have never seen in perpetuity actually on a contract. Maybe I wasn't looking. I didn't see it. They're usually like 6 months usage, 12 months usage, but now I'm gonna double check.
Yeah, always double check. So here's the thing with voiceover specifically, when you do a voiceover this day and age, most of the time it is assumed that it's going to be non-broadcast, organic only in perpetuity. If you're doing a one-off voiceover where it's pay to play or somebody reaches out to you direct or you're cold marketing, they'll probably say something like, they may not even say it, they're just going to assume that it's non-broadcast in perpetuity. If you are on voices.com and you do jobs on there, all of them say non-broadcast in perpetuity. Okay. You look so cute on camera.
I look scary. I just got a glimpse of myself and I was like, oh.
Does anybody think that Heather looks scary? Comment below.
It's 11:30 at night and we've been up since like 6 a.m. So
this is me. The baby's asleep. That's when we do content.
Exactly.
Okay, back to the thing here. So you're doing it in perpetuity, non-broadcast. That's what you're going to find most of the time on voices.com, Voice123, when people reach out to you if you're doing something that's just no ad spend behind it. Because they're serving a much smaller audience. So the more eyeballs, this is the way it works in media, the more eyeballs or ear balls, I'm sure somebody has said before, the more ear balls, the more people that listen to that spot, the more you get paid because the more they have to spend to get out to that. And the more people buy their products, etc. Okay?
Right, yeah.
So just know this. Wider than that, the more you get paid. So you don't want to be doing in perpetuity for online ads for a broadcast of any kind unless they're paying you a metric fuck ton and it's not like a really known like big brand. Like for instance, Nike, they could pay me $10,000 and I'm not going to do any online ads for them or broadcast in perpetuity ever. Maybe for $100,000.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. What do you consider a fuck ton? What would you do it for?
Well, see, this is the thing, right? And there was actually an audition that went around a while ago. I'm not going to say what the brand was because I don't think I'm under an NDA. But anyway, I got the email from an agent. It's a well-known.
That weird email.
No, this is a different one. Okay. No. It's for a well-known pizza brand. I know some of you out there may have got it as well. But they wanted a license in perpetuity and exclusivity across all brands, meaning you couldn't work for another brand, not just in the food industry, all brands. Anybody. You couldn't work for any brand.
For how long?
Well, possibly in perpetuity. So the thing was, they licensed for a year, but they had the ability to re-up in perpetuity as long as they want. So you are their brand voice. And the payout was $200,000 a year. Now, that's a lot to most people. And anybody who auditioned for that or whoever got it, I'm not judging you at all.
Not bad.
But
I mean, I'll take it. Hey, give me a call.
When you do this full time, and if you like doing this, like you can make much more than $200,000 a year. I mean, it's not the norm. Most people usually fall just below 100K or just over 100K. It's kind of like, between, I'd say, really high level pros between like 80 and like 200K, like the top 1%, 200K to like 500K. The rare person makes $1 million. So 200K, that's a lot, but that stops you from doing anything.
Honestly, I thought you were going to get back to me with like a number around $1 million, since you said it was a well-known brand. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Well, that's usually like what it would take. The point is, when you're looking at these contracts, you got to kind of take it by a case-by-case value. Don't be so dogmatic that when you see the dirty word in perpetuity, that you're like, no, absolutely not. Look at it. Who is the brand? Where is it? Is it a local in perpetuity ad? Like an ad that's playing like we're in Daytona Beach. If there's an ad for some local, I don't know, pizza shop, they have one store, it's a mom and pop store, and they want an in perpetuity ad for that to be played in Daytona local, and they're gonna pay me $1,000 for it. Probably it's just gonna be here. Who cares? Who cares? Exactly. So that's really good. You can't just be dogmatic. You really got to take this stuff into account. And also, when you're look for this crazy language. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, where they don't ask for in perpetuity. They ask for in perpetuity, all rights to your likeness to be resold however they want, in perpetuity, across the known and unknown universe. This is actual language you'll find in a contract.
The unknown universe. Are you?
It's that. Really? Well, here's the thing, right? So when brands, this is another thing you can take into account. Nothing is set in stone. If somebody comes at you and says, "Hey, we want this in perpetuity," you can negotiate. I do it all the time. The thing is, the reason that they a lot of the time ask for in perpetuity, it's not so much the client side, it's the middleman, the marketing agency, because they don't want to get sued if the client decides to keep using it. And think of it, if you are a marketing agency and you're churning out, let's say, a few ads a month, if you're a mid-sized one, if you're a big one, maybe like 100 different ads a month. How are you going to keep track of all the usage when it ends? It's hard. You have to have a whole department to be able to do it. And then you've got to chase up the client. You got to make sure they're telling the truth, find the spots, get in touch with the voice actor, get them paid again. Like there's some stellar, awesome agencies do it, but it's hard to do. It's just much easier to say, hey, in perpetuity across the universe in all known mediums for the end of time and your firstborn son and your soul and everything in that.
In another universe and all unknown universes on Mars.
Yeah, so then...
You can't do voiceover in Mars.
So they don't have to... She's sober. Yeah. So they don't have to like chase it up. So knowing that, know that it's always flexible. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, listen, loved your audition. The client wants in perpetuity for... online ad and national broadcast TV, and we're going to give it to you for, and let's say it's a medium known brand. You've heard of them, they're not massive, and they offer you like $2,500. So instead of saying absolutely not, you say, hey, thank you so much for the offer. Unfortunately, in perpetuity would be quite a bit more. What I can offer, what I always do is a rule of 5. 5 times the full usage. So know this, look at the GVAA rate guide. And if you don't know what that is, Google the GVAA rate guide. It's an awesome resource that we all have a standard sort of pricing for non-union jobs and how to price them, so we're all kind of in the same ballpark. Do the full thing if somebody asks you for in perpetuity for each category. So online ad will be one, national TV will be one. If they want radio as well, price them separately each time, break it down as line items, and do the full year and then times it by 5. Tell them that you're timesing it by 5 because most ads don't survive beyond 5 years. Honestly, these days, and this is another reason why I'm flexible when people ask me for in perpetuity, most online ads and TV ads, even if they say they're going to play it for in perpetuity 10 years, it's probably done in a year. People rip through them so fast and people want new stuff. Like, when's the last time you seen an ad play like longer than a year? It doesn't happen anymore. It used to happen all the time, but not anymore. So if they want that in perpetuity, just to protect myself, I will times it by 5. So that's, let's say, online ad, just off the top of my head, probably like 1 year, like let's call it 1,500. National broadcast TV, let's say, I don't know, $5,000. You've got both those numbers, so you got like 6,500, times that by 5, tell them that that's what it would cost for in perpetuity, but then give them the amount, say, in my case, these ads don't play beyond a couple years. Why don't we just call it 2 years usage and then give them that number? They'll see the giant number for in perpetuity. They'll see the generous number that you give them for 2 years. They'll agree it's probably only going to be played for 2 years, and you just got yourself a job and paid properly. And you escaped in perpetuity. That's how I think you should play it. But above all, don't be dogmatic about it. There's so many different questions you need to ask when you're deciding whether you're going to do in perpetuity or not. Take into account the size of the audience, where it's getting played. Is it local? Is it regional? Is it national? Who's the brand? What's the place? Like, is it a mom and pop shop or is it Nike? Take all that into account, and I wish I had a blanket answer for you, but if you look at the GVAA rate guide and you play fair and just know that you can negotiate, I totally just dropped that, you're gonna be just fine. What do you think, Heather?
I think I want to request your voice in perpetuity beyond this universe into infinite amounts of universes. Should I name my price?
Yeah, that'll be $5 million.
Wow. We are going to negotiate.
I want to know below in the comments, how many people think that Heather should let me teach her how to do voiceover the way I do voiceover? Not voiceover on top, she kills it. If you ever check her out on, what's your handle on TikTok and Instagram?
Heather Aboff. ABOFF. As in Frank.
What are you going to do when we get married and you have to change your last name? You're not going to,
I don't know. I mean, we'll get there when we get there.
Follow her, Heather Aboff on TikTok and Instagram. She has 100,000 followers on Instagram. You believe that shit? Crazy. Who thinks I should teach her how to do voiceover? I've been trying to get her to do voiceover for a while. I literally teach people voiceover.
No, I know. And I listen into his classes and I hear what he says and I watch his modules. I'm like, okay, this is incredible. So our issue is we have one studio in our 5-bedroom house right now. Oh, I'm looking at there. Okay, shoot. We have.
You look great, sweetheart.
One studio in her 5-bedroom house. Even though we have extra rooms, we can put another studio. So if you think I should get into voiceover, comment below. Let's see what the feedback is from the voiceover community. If I get a lot of good feedback, if you think this voice has got some potential, then I will do a video just for you setting up my own home studio in our second closet.
Potential. Yeah, absolutely, you have potential.
You gotta bring some Florida in.
It will literally take me maybe 2 hours to help you set up that studio.
Okay,
and I'll probably end up doing myself. But also the one thing, and for all you new people out there, it's not about the sound and quality of your voice. It can help, but it's more about being able to assimilate the words on the page, add your own personality to it, your own point of view, and then deliver it in a way that's not just authentic, but also engaging and interesting. That's how you get ahead in this.
Isn't it kind of like what I think when I do my social media voiceover videos? I always picture that I'm talking to my best friend.
Literally the cliche of voiceover. Absolutely. That's exactly what you do.
Okay, sorry. I mean, I'm a cliche.
You're not a cliche. You're one of a kind.
I am.
Stay one of a kind. Don't ever change. All right, everybody. Hope that was helpful. That is in perpetuity. Explained in a very unique way.
Yes.
But that's how I look at it. And I hope that was helpful. And anybody that's interested in getting started in voiceover, or if you're a pro and you're looking to book more jobs and you're interested in working with me, check the links below. There's many ways to work with me. Other than that, we will see you in the next one.
Good night, guys.
You gotta say peace.
Peace.